Herm Edwards here just yesterday, and you said you figured this would be all settled before the appeals process. You called it.
You did call it.
You called it.
Well, I'm a smart man.
Yes, he is.
I'm right every once in a while, but knowing this league, and I've had the privilege to play and coach in this league, and I understand how it works. And Mr. Kraft said it. He said it exactly right. A lot of rhetoric, bad publicity for the league. And when you sit in his seat with 31 owners that you're in partnership with, along with protecting the shield, and we always talk about that from the top to the bottom, that it was time to put this to rest. And the sidebars that obviously him and the commissioner had, there was enough said, also with owners probably whispering in his ear and says, look, you just got to take it. You have to do what the New Orleans Saints had to do. They didn't like the sanctions that were put on them. Their coach was dismissed for a whole year. The GM was gone. You look at what happened to the Atlanta Falcons. Look at what happened to the Cleveland Browns. They all just fell in place and said, okay, we get it. You know, this is the commissioner's. This is what we hired him for, to protect the integrity of the league. Because when you don't, then the fan base of our great league, they question, what are they doing? Who's the voice? He is the voice when it comes to protecting the league. Whether it's a player moving out of line or an owner now. If this was Mr. Davis, as we know, it would be a whole different story. Because Mr. Davis fought the league. I mean, and won. He won. He beat the league twice. Was the only guy who ever done it, owner-wise. But he was that way. That was Mr. Davis. And you anticipated that. When the Oakland Raiders had a beef with the league, Mr. Davis was saying, we're going to court. And he won twice. Twice. You remember that?
Do I?
He's the only guy.
And Mr. Davis told me that he felt like the league got even with him over the tuck rule play that launched the dynasty.
That's a whole other story.
Okay,
That's
well,
okay.
You're not getting into that.
I'm not getting into that one.
Yeah.
But it didn't surprise me at all.
You said it perfectly. It was time. We've been talking about this for 4 months. It's time. And at least this element of this whole saga is put to rest. There will always be players that make mistakes on the field and off the field. And the punishment will come down on them, and they will appeal. But this was a whole different story. You know, Mr. Kraft, what he said was, he talked about the strength of the partnership. The good of the league outweighs the good of one individual team. I thought it was commendable. I thought he did a good job. We expected him to say that. I thought he made the right call.
He didn't leave Tom Brady hanging.
Okay.
That's a whole different issue.
Yes, I'm about to get to
You
that.
go right ahead. You go right ahead.
I want to say I'm so happy to have you two here with us because I respect you enormously.
Thank you.
As a coach and player in this league. And I respect the heck out of you for your early stance against this on our air here. You were highly critical, mostly indirectly, of Tom Brady. Is that fair? I mean,
very fair.
Yeah. And your point was the quarterback knows what the football is. He knows the feel of the football, and if it's underinflated, don't tell me you don't know it's underinflated.
Right.
Is that fair to characterize your stance?
It's very fair, and Skip, that's how it works. Quarterbacks are very much involved in the preparation of those footballs.
Okay, I'm going to reiterate one last time. I've talked to several people close to Brady who say that even privately, he is insisting to him that he's not even 1% guilty here. He is 0% guilty. And that he had no idea of what was going on with those footballs other than to tell everyone involved, I like them inflated to the lower end of regulation. He said that from 2001 on, from his rookie 2000 on. That's all. And there is a range, obviously. Aaron Rodgers has said, I like it at the top end of the range. I don't know where you liked your football. Did you like it in the middle? Did you like it a little lower? But there's a range down to this that's still legal, right? Okay, that's all Tom Brady says to his friends that he knows now. And Bob Kraft said in his interview with Peter King just last Saturday, that's when the interview took place, before the birthday party, that he looked Tom Brady in the eye and basically said, look, if you fudge, I'm paraphrasing, but if you fudged a little bit here, just tell me, and we'll deal with it. We'll move on. It'll be no problem here, and it won't be a big deal. But he said that Brady looked him in the eye. He's never lied to him. 16 years they've been together, and said, nothing. I didn't do anything wrong here. So then, Mr. Kraft went on the attack. He went on into Al Davis mode for a while.
Yes, he did.
Okay? He went, as I said the other day, he went Mad Max, man. I mean, he went crazy for a while with the website rebuttal of 20,000 words, attacking the commissioner's credibility, via the Wells report, just shredded it, point for point for point. And I'm like, wow, this is serious business, because I was told by the confidants of Tom Brady, he doesn't just want he thinks the appeals will be a charade. So he's waiting to go to court. He's going to, as Jonathan Vilma did during the Bounty Gate, he wants to sue Roger Goodell for defamation of his character. Because the worst publicity here, I get your league view, but the worst publicity suffered is by the quarterback here. Is that fair to say?
No doubt.
Not by the Patriots, not by the owner.
That's right.
They have their shield to protect, but apparently it's going to be okay in Mr. Kraft's eyes, because he backed completely off, but he left the quarterback hanging. He left him high and dry to defend himself. He did not mention him in the statement that he made without taking a question yesterday in San Francisco at the Spring League meetings. So my point is this. If you're Tom Brady and you 100% believe that you did nothing wrong, is it okay for you to go ahead and fight if you're in those shoes right now? And that, again, you have a different take on it, but if you can relate quickly here just to Tom Brady's place right now, his position, his impasse that he's in, personally, would you continue to fight, or would you take one for the league as your owner just did?
Well, I would continue to fight. I would take a shot. I would appeal. That's what players do. I mean, we're looking at the difference between 4 games and 2 games, which is a huge difference,
hey,
Coach.
Just point of order.
Without doubt.
Tom Brady doesn't want 2 games because that's some acceptance of an admission of guilt. Right?
Sure.
Even 2 games would say, oh, you got me, but I'll thank you for the 2 games.
But let me suggest something. You know, in the conversations, the back channel conversations that perhaps Mr. Kraft and Roger had, do you think that there's a possibility that Mr. Kraft said something to the effect of, hey, I'm gonna get out of this fight. However, in this appeals process with my quarterback, I want you to go easy on him. I want you to consider going from 4 to 2. Maybe there was an agreement there. If I'm going to get out, I need something for it. I need some assurances that my quarterback.
Possibly.
I'm not saying strip him, take nothing away.
Right.
But give him something. Give my quarterback something. Do something for me, for my willingness to get out of this fight. The good of the league, the strength of the partnership, I can see that happening very easily.
Herm, before you go, let me get a quick break in, okay?
Yes.
We want to make sure we get some time in so we can discuss this in more
Absolutely.
detail. Thank you for bringing this bubble.
Yeah, that's us.
I appreciate
That's the Lakers.
That's us, right?
See that? That's the Lakers.
That's
They
the
got
Lakers.
the number 2 pick.
Number 2 pick. We back
Number
in a
2.
moment.
We're
Number 2
okay.
pick. But we're talking about football when we come back. We're talking about Robert Kraft, but we just wanted to remind
Yeah,
you
but
guys.
it makes sense.
Just wanted to remind
We're
you.
talking about the team that no longer has a number 1 pick.
Yeah, okay.
Right?
It's okay.
Got a lot of trophies.
On the other side of the break, but that's funny. Welcome back to First Take, everyone. In the last segment, we were talking about Robert Kraft essentially standing down, saying that the Patriots will not appeal the penalties handed down by the NFL. Let's continue that discussion, Coach, but let's focus it on Tom Brady. So, obviously, Robert Kraft no longer fighting, but what does that mean for Tom Brady or say about Tom Brady?
Well, obviously, it's in the league's hands, and I wish it never would have got to this, actually. And when I look at it, I would probably handle it a little bit different earlier. You being the head coach, knowing there's a situation in your locker room that has somewhat gotten out of control with the balls, I would have called the equipment guy and Tom in, had them both sit in front of me and ask the question. Say, okay, Tom, what happened here? And
How early would you do it?
right from the beginning.
Like
Right.
the day after the AFC Championship
No,
game? Or way back?
before that.
Okay.
Yeah. When Bill went and they had to talk about the deflated balls, right? I would have called Tom in, and the equipment guy said, hey, what happened here? I need to know. And I don't know how the conversation goes. I'd ask Tom, I said, okay, what's the deal? And if Tom says, well, I like the balls, I felt the ball and I liked it this way when it was cold. And this might have happened 10 years ago.
Sure.
Who knows? I don't know. But, okay, you like that feel, okay. What did you do? He says, well, I had to make sure that was the feel he wanted, and I had to take the balls, and I had to let some air out of them to get them at that level. And then the next question is, were they under deflated? So they asked the equipment man, right? He looks at me and he goes, yes, they were under deflated. Well, okay.
Now what?
Did you tell Tom that? Did you tell Tom they were under deflated? And if he says yes, it's on Tom. Tom, what do you want to do? You want to play with an underdeflated ball, or do you want to go by the rules? Or did you not tell Tom that? And if you didn't, he's playing with an underdeflated ball. He doesn't know it. He knows it's a little soft, but he doesn't know it's not the league minimum. He said, so that's on you. To me, that was the simplest way to do it. But that's just me. I'm sitting in the studio.
But you were a pretty good coach.
Real good coach.
Well, I do know this. I know about people.
Yes, you do.
And I just think there's a way you can get to the bottom line without making a spectacle for everybody involved.
Okay,
Right.
just point of order.
Yeah.
The coach in question here has had a little bit of a checkered past his own self. Is that fair to say? We had a Spygate. And before that, we had a couple of big accusations from teams he played in the Super Bowl that walkthroughs were taped the night before Super Bowls against the St. Louis Rams, Carolina Panthers. So he was under scrutiny already, and maybe he has operated occasionally, we know he operated in the gray area against Eric Mangini's Jets with the taping of the defensive signals, right? Okay, so now let's get back to Tom Brady. It did get this far.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, that same owner who had gone Al Davis on the league and on Roger Goodell, according to Adam Schefter, the night after he does the Peter King interview, the night of that day, you know, he did it in the afternoon, he runs into Roger Goodell at a birthday party. They sit on the couch, according to Adam Schefter. They hash this out. They end up hugging it out. And all of a sudden, he does one of the great about faces I've ever seen, to go from that crazed, I'm declaring war on my league, to I love my league and I'm going to take one for my league. And two things are operating here. Number one, you don't see your team's appeals process through. So to your point, maybe he has a off-the-record back-channel deal for his quarterback. Well, what if the commissioner said, hey, if you see the appeals through, I'll make sure that your 1 is reduced to a 2. The first-round pick you were going to lose is only a second round. That could be an enormous savings on the part of this franchise. But no, he said, for the good of the league, and you guys are complete agreement here, no, I'm out because I love my commissioner, I've staunchly supported my commissioner, and I love my other owners. So we accept our punishment. In so doing, you are conceding guilt on the part of your quarterback, whether you like it or not. He did not mention his quarterback in the statement he made. Is that a plus or a minus? I considered it a minus because he didn't even say, I will continue to back my quarterback in his battle with the league through the appeals process, and if it gets to this, through the court process. Because I'm pretty sure the quarterback is dug in and will continue to fight. And to me personally, what he just did to his quarterback was shameful. But that's just me, because it looks like he sold him out to the league. For the good of the bigger golden goose, he sold out his golden goose, who has helped him win 4 Super Bowl rings. And has been, I would say, the biggest reason Bob Kraft owns 4 Super Bowl rings is this quarterback, and he left him high and dry because the public is going to say concession of guilt. Oh, you did do it, so it's okay. Tom did do it. We get it.
Brunell,
now what,
quarterback.
Tom?
What?
Fake.
You go ahead.
No, I would say if Mr. Kraft had to do it all over again, now he spoke from the heart. There wasn't a script. He wasn't reading it. You know, that would have been very easy, but he spoke from the heart. I think if he had a chance to do that all over again, he would have included that.
Okay.
But I just don't think that he would ever, at any point, bail on his quarterback, the guy that, as you said, has won 4 Super Bowls, maybe the best to ever play.
Maybe.
I think he just, that was a mistake on his part, in my opinion. I think he left that out. If he had to do it again, he would include it. I still support Tom Brady. He's our quarterback. He's never lied to me. I trust him. This is our decision. We're going forward. But I don't think that was, I don't think it was an admission of guilt. I think he just failed to mention that in his press conference.
Well, I'm pretty sure he told Tom exactly what he was going to do and say, hey, you still fight your fight.
He did. Yeah.
You still fight your fight. That's what you should do. But as I said earlier, this could have been alleviated.
You did.
Okay.
Long time ago.
From the beginning. Just from the beginning. I always say this. Like in life, like in football, like in family matters, your private matters are your private matters. And you handle it within the home. And you don't let the public all of a sudden make you make decisions or weigh what you're saying.
Okay.
No, don't. To me, Skip, it should have never got this big.
Okay, but that cat's way out.
It's out the bag, exactly. So now we're going to dance with the music. It started with the quarterback, and it's going to end with the quarterback.
Right.
Whether it's good or bad.
So will you blame this quarterback
No.
if he takes this to court?
No.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Are you okay? Even though it's going to create negative rhetoric on our show.
Oh, it's fine.
Right?
It's fine. This team can handle all that. They handle it going into the Super Bowl. They handle it going to the Super Bowl, right? Everybody says, oh, okay, well, okay. They handle it. They won the Super Bowl. So this gets handled. I mean, they'll be fine.
All right, gentlemen, we got to let Coach go. You're going to join us a little later on, are you not?
If I'm supposed to be back, we'll talk about these guys?
We are going to talk about these guys.
We are.
That's not our guy, but that looks like a guy, kind of.
That's one of our guys.
Maybe.
That's magic?
Yeah, that's magic.
You sure that's not worthy?
All you got to do is look at the trophies.
Coach will be back with us a little later on in the show. Mark Brunell, you are sticking around. When we come back, we're talking about the NFL. They made some changes.
2-point play.
Yeah.
Boy, he'd be big on that.
Yeah.
He's going to touchdown, 2-point play.
Yeah.
Like that.
You. Got the quarterback hanging out.
Go.
Back in a moment, folks.